Coach Prime beat a couple things today. He beat cancer to start off with, and he beat some of your haters off with a stick with how he handled his situation at the presser today. Let's talk about it. That was a good one. Oh, man, oh man. We had the emergency presser today with Coach Prime. And although I didn't feel that he would be leaving, you still always had that weird gut feeling of like, okay, like I don't think he's going anywhere. I feel like if he was, it would have been broken out already. But I was a little nervous because we don't know how the serious the medical situation is. I thought, like, look, if he were to leave, it would be due to the fact that whatever's going on wouldn't allow him to continue to go forward, right? Like that was my thought process. But we'll get into that. Let's talk about it in case you haven't seen it. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer and then has had it since removed. It's all clear, good to go. There's no remnants of it, according to his doctor, that will have maintained checkups, things like that. Fantastic news. Phenomenal news. But here's the big thing that I really want to go over. That was phenomenal. If you haven't seen the interview where Coach Prime talks about this entire situation, where he speaks on the trials and tribulations that he's going through, having to have 2 bags full of urinal and blood and not being able to get up and empty it out, and it's getting so full because he can't control his bladder anymore. And he made a joke of, I got to depend on the pins now, and there's going to be a porta potty on the sideline because I don't know, I can't control my bladder. I'm going to the bathroom five, 6, 7 times within a couple hours, right? And he spoke to this. He alluded to this as well of, again, like, God's good. God is good. Like, he wanted to test me. And he said, look, the devil said, let me see if Coach Prime, who speaks to me all the time, can handle this. And it reminded me of the story in the Bible about Job, who, same situation, who's all in on God. And he's like, let me test him. And snatches everything away from Job. I mean, takes everything, kids, job, everything you can imagine. Leave this man at the bottom of the earth looking up going, what are we doing? And Job never changed his perspective on how he felt about God, and obviously it comes back full circle. And so that was what he didn't speak to that exact story, but that's what I felt when he was speaking to that. But also, too, you think about it, is Coach Prime's a vessel. He draws eyeballs. We talk about it all the time. We talk about how he draws eyeballs from the NIL perspective, how he draws eyeballs for recruiting, all those things, right? You can look at it if it's good or bad, right? People have their opinion on it, but here's the positive thing. Somebody that has that power to persuade and influence people had something that most people, when people get hit with, they want to quit, right? It is so detrimental to their psyche that they're just like, why me? And they want to crumble. And Coach Prime could have done that very easily, could have walked away. Hey, I can't do this anymore. I've got to focus on my health. I got to pay attention to this. And I don't think people would have given flack. I mean, it is what it is. But nobody would have said, okay, you're right. This is something you need to go focus on. But instead, doubled down and said, we got to get this thing fixed so I get back to what I love. I get back to what I want to rock and roll with. And I think what's powerful is that God works in mysterious ways, is that he allowed, or he gave somebody this, or not gave, but anyways, somebody that got this disease that has the ability to influence. Because he talks about, like, hey, you need to go get checked, man. All my brothers need to go get checked. Women too. This is definitely more, I would say, more common in men, especially older men, prostate cancer. It's a huge thing. And he said it. Us men are stubborn. We don't like to go to the doctor. We feel like we're invincible, myself included. And when you think about something like Primetime, who in our entire lives, as long as we've known him, has been invincible, flying around every which way, looking good, feeling good, playing good, coaching good, you name it, you got it. You know what I mean? And so when somebody like that is punched in the gut like nobody's business, I mean, you want to talk about being humbled to its core, where you're having to rely on somebody to pick you up. And I'm not saying this because he said it himself. I needed her help to take me to the bathroom. To be that vulnerable in that situation moves mountains for what's at hand. And this is somebody who you want as a head coach. That's what you want in a coach. Somebody that's willing to be humble. And again, as men, we gotta be strong. We gotta be all these things, and that's right. But there's a place and a point where you gotta know when to be vulnerable, and that's where it was. And in a way, in that vulnerability, you dial into being a strong man and an example for everybody who's tuned in. Phenomenal news that he's healthy. Incredible. It was emotional watching the presser. Genuinely, I was genuinely concerned. Lost a lot of weight. I think he lost like 25 pounds. He looks skinnier. It looks good. I mean, he didn't look unhealthy in my opinion, but definitely looks skinnier around the face than what he obviously was looking like. And but yeah, man, scary situation. He said there will be porta potties on the sideline, right? So there will be some changes from the day to day. And the doctor asked, I was like, hey, what's gonna be different? I said, look, like it kind of made me think of like having a toddler. People are like, oh, what's different? It's like, it's not that necessarily you think your lives are different. Your priorities change. How you function changes. So it's not necessarily different anymore. It's just going to become slightly the new norm. But as for my life, I'm going to continue to move on. I'm going to continue to do these things. I might have to just take an extra pit stop every so miles, take a potty break, or wear the pins because I can't control these things. Which is like, yeah, is it unfortunate? Is it a little bit of a hassle? Yeah, but it's a lot better than not being here. And so if that's what I got to do, then that's what I got to do. But I think you know what's really cool is Coach Prime gets a lot of flack. We've seen it. There was a lot of reports saying that he was going to retire, which is very frustrating because these sites and these people on Twitter, they're verified. They've got followers, so you want to feel like, okay, there might be some truth there. Not that I wanted there to be truth, but sometimes you got to wonder like what's true, what's not true. There's zero accountability. I've said this before. It drives me bananas. But anyways, he's good to go. He's healthy. He's dialed in. He's locked in, and I'm really excited. Oh, but what I was saying is like, look, I think a lot of people. I think he won some more people over today than what he, in the past. I think a lot of people obviously had their judgment. They just kind of were like tossed Coach Prime to the side, but everybody was tuned in for this. Everybody was tuned in, and I think you had I know there were some people tuning in. Go, well, here it is. He's gonna walk away. Told you he couldn't do it. Waiting for that moment to capitalize on that vulnerability, but probably got a little kick in the gut of like, okay, this was kind of serious. I'm not gonna do anything, and maybe found a place in their heart like, okay, like I'm not gonna hold this unnecessary hate for this man. I think there's gonna be some quiet cheers for Colorado moving forward, which again, the fan base has always been electric and fantastic, but I think there's gonna be more than ever this year on the story. We've kind of gone through a little bit of a stretch. I mean, we're losing Mike Leach and losing great coaches, like and great people over the last week with Hulk and Ozzy Osbourne and a few other guys I don't know, but just big time names that we've been around our entire lives. And again, it just reminds you that the people you are with are very important. I'll leave you with this of call your loved ones, hang out with them, put them first. Those are priorities. Your grandmas, your grandpas. You're going through life 100 miles an hour, and at the end of it, you're not going to have much to show for it, okay? Prime example of this, I come home, I got all these things we got to do. We're shooting shows and whatnot, and I got a little man running around. And it's very easy to get distracted and want to just go do those things and work because that's what's causing the stress. The fun seems like you feel guilty about having it, right? Playing with the little one. But 30, 40, 50 years from now, I promise you, you're going to remember playing and running around the house with underwear on your head and not shooting a video. So take a second, take a breath, run around. Life's precious, okay? Don't let something like this have to happen to click it into gear. Get into gear now. Hope you guys enjoy the content as always. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.